Welcome back here to the Twin Cities Film Fest red carpet. I'm your host, Blythe Whaley, and right now we have some awesome guys from the film The Cherry Man. This is Walter Griffin and Dudley Edmondson. So, Dudley Edmondson alongside me. Dudley, you obviously are a big part of this film and getting it on the screen today. Why was this film so important to be shown?
Uh, you know, Walter is the subject of the film, and he has such amazing stories. He's lived a long life. He's had, encounters with some of really the country's most famous black celebrities and civil rights leaders. He's had an incredible life as a photographer, and we've known each other for a long time, and he's told me so many stories. I just decided it was time to make a film about some of his stories. Yeah.
No, and that's awesome. That,
Yeah.
of course, that also you can just think back on those moments of hearing from him and knowing that this film needed to be seen. And Walter, I want to talk to you about what has been that relationship of getting this film on the screen, how you guys are connected, and how important it was for you to get to see this out there.
So it was about 13 years ago when we went on a trip from Duluth to Columbus, Ohio, and we spoke for 12 hours. And during that time, he told me that I was the most interesting person he'd ever met in his life. And so he said, I need to make a film about you. And it took us 11 years, but here we are. Yes, yeah.
Just a huge compliment, of course, to you to get to hear that. And when I think about film also, you think about what people are taking away from seeing it. What do you hope that people are taking away after they step out of the theater today?
To me, the film it's American history, it's Black history. There's so much in there. Stories, I think, stories behind stories. There are things that we know about our history as a country, but I think Walter kind of has some behind the scenes about some of that stuff, and I think that there's just a little bit extra when you hear, someone who was actually in some of these places, adding to that story. Yeah.
And Walter, when you think about getting people to see what your life is on the screen, is that nerve-wracking, or are you more just excited to get to share this story?
Well, I'm excited to share this with the world because I've been photographing for 67 years. So I'm bringing a lot of experiences that a lot of people would never have or see if I didn't share it with them. Yeah.
And Dudley, when you think about filmmaking in general, now obviously this film being here, which is so awesome, what's to come from you? Do you have any other ideas that are in the pipeline? Otherwise, what are you wanting to do?
Yeah, filmmaking is something I've mostly done for clients. This is actually the first film I've ever made for me that didn't have a client attached to it, I'm looking forward to doing more of those projects. It's just a lot of creativity, that can be explored when you don't have someone telling you exactly what to do. But between Walter and I'm a photographer too. Between the two of us, we probably have almost a century of photography experience. Most of my stuff is wildlife and nature. His is people and events. But working together between the two of us, working on stuff. We'd like to do another film about a gentleman who lives here named Lewis Moore. We'd like to do a film called Citizen Moore. So that'll probably be my next project. He's also had an amazing life. When you're talking to people in their 70s and 80s, there's always a bunch of amazing stories. And so I just want to pull some of those and create another film.
Well, that's exciting. We'll
Yeah.
keep a lookout for that.
Yeah.
And Walter, what do you think about, of course, it sounds like photography is what you do, but do you feel that you'll be looking to try to be in more films, or how do you see film progressing with you?
Well, basically, I'm a visual historian. So what I capture, I try to capture for future generations. So I don't know about being in more films. If it happens, it happens. But the most important thing is for me to continue to photograph and to share it with the world, the things that I've seen and that I continue to see.
I love that. I can feel your passion when you're talking about that, and it's important that we have people like you that are so willing to be able to go to those places, share these stories so that everyone can be as knowledgeable of those events. And Dudley, when you think about today, and of course you think about being here on the red carpet, getting to help promote your film, what does that mean to you when you just think about yourself as a filmmaker, getting to promote your work and getting to share it with everyone?
You know, I feel like other young filmmakers of color seeing, being able to see me, being able to see Walter, doing what we do, and being celebrated by this festival and a lot of other filmmakers of color and black filmmakers. I think that, just kind of being a role model to me really, particularly at our age, I think being role models is really important to us. So, yeah.
No, that's really awesome. And I want to go off of that and ask Walter if you've had some role models that have come alongside you or people that inspired you to do what you do.
Well, I've been inspired by two people, Gordon Parks and Jesse Owens. I met Jesse when I was 12 years old. He put a medal around my neck after a race, and I knew Gordon Parks for 50 years. We kept in contact with each other. So those are primarily my role models, yes.
Well, you guys, I'm so glad you've joined me here on the red carpet. We're awesome and thrilled to celebrate The Cherry Man, your guys' film. Thank you again.
Yeah,
right,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, you guys, here at the Twin Cities Film Fest, we have more films and more awesome filmmakers like these gentlemen coming up next. Thank you.